John Whitby.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Cash is still alive and well, and access to it is, for some, still a necessity. Indeed, last year, £80 billion of cash was withdrawn from the Link network. But the rise of internet banking and contactless payments, we've seen a near complete withdrawal of bank branches from certain parts of the country. And as already been mentioned, there were 10,000 branches 10 years ago, and now there are just 3,000. And one of those closures was the NatWest Bank in Bakewell in February 2024. This wasn't just the last bank in Bakewell, this was the last bank in the entire Peak District National Park. And in a few weeks' time, when the Lloyds Bank in Ashbourne closes, there will be no banks in the entire Derbyshire Dales constituency, an area of nearly 400 square miles. Now, there are many different reasons why people need access to cash, and I think they are all ably demonstrated by the magnificent market town of Bakewell. Of course, there are residents there on low incomes or benefits who will find it much easier to budget using cash, and they would be less likely also to have access to the internet. There is an ageing population there who simply won't want to change or don't trust the technology. We had elderly residents taking 2-hour round-trip bus journeys simply to withdraw cash from what was their new nearest bank, rather than use the ATMs in Bakewell. And there are several successful markets each week, and the traders will all have the electronic card readers to take payments. But despite what the mobile networks may say, you struggle to get a signal in Bakewell, and traders often have to ask shoppers to pay in cash. There are numerous independent shops there that serve the 6 million visitors to Bakewell, and the shops need cash to run, and they were finding that they were having to be rationed when they queued up for cash at the post office, as they simply couldn't cope with the demand. But, Madam Deputy Speaker, despite all of its attributes, Bakewell was turned down for a banking hub the first time around. So, when I was elected, I went back to Link, who did the assessments and make decisions on banking hubs. And I tried to understand over several conversations with them what had been missed the first time round. And I've got to say that Link were very responsive, and after we'd submitted another application following a slight relaxation of their criteria on population size, they were happy to come back to Bakewell for me to take them to the Agricultural Business Centre to see the livestock markets, where they could witness the staggering amount of money being transacted using cheques demonstrated to them by the auctioneers there. And this, I'm glad to say, seemed to be the missing part of the puzzle. We were told that we'd been given a full counter-service banking hub back in December, and, Madam Deputy Speaker, it was the best Christmas present ever. The experience in Ashbourne was completely different, showing that one size doesn't fit all. The process there was seamless. Lloyds announced that they will close, and an assessment was done. The criteria were all met, and I liaised with Cash Access UK over timeframes and locations, etc. And I'm very glad to say that the permanent Ashbourne Banking Hub will open on the 27th of June, and it looks like the permanent Bakewell Hub will follow towards the end of July, and this will continue the excellent work and growing reputation of the temporary Bakewell Hub. A national cash access report suggests over 90% of customers believe banking hubs are extremely important to the community, and I've got to say that the feedback that I get from service users is all positive. The evidence suggests that banking hubs increase footfall and boost the local economy, and I'm very relieved that we'll shortly have 2 in the Derbyshire Dales. Thank you.